Third member of our broadcast crew is Josh Pick. Josh will be working the sidelines for us. Josh, up to you.
A huge matchup in tonight's game will be Christ School's Mason Plumlee and Oak Hill's Keith Gowan. Now Plumlee's heading on I-40 East to play for Coach Krzyzewski's Blue Devils next year, while Gowan's going to be heading on I-40 West to play for Jeff Capel's Oklahoma Sooners. Now Plumlee stands at 6'11", Keith Gowan 6'9", 300 pounds. Ironically enough, his nickname, Tiny.
Thank you, Josh. We are going to come back to the Greensboro Coliseum complex for more pregame right after this. Third member of our broadcast crew is Josh Pick. Josh, what's going on?
Thanks, Jack. I'm down here courtside taking a closer look at the three-point line. Now, last year the men and women both shared the three-point line at 19 feet 9 inches. Well, this year the men's line has been moved back 1 foot to 20 feet and 9 inches. And that's going to be a big key in this game. For UNC Asheville, Sean Smith shooting 45%. He's a big key. As a team, they're only shooting 32% this year. Now, for Western Carolina, they've got a pair of juniors, including former Western North Carolina Player of the Year, Jake Robinson from Pisgah. He's shooting almost 40% from the three-point line, while junior classmate Brandon Giles is shooting 48% for the line. That's going to be a big key to this game. Who can shoot the three-point line and who can defend it? Back to you, Jack. Western Carolina up 55-51 with 11:51 to go in the second half. Just a quick update on our pregame little segment on three-point shooting. Western Carolina 8 for 12, UNC Asheville only 4 for 11, so you can see the difference there. That's why Western Carolina is still in the lead. Back to you, Jack.
Good point, Josh. That is exactly why they have the lead at the moment.
Taking a look at the trophy presentation here, the players of the game: MoMo Jones for Oak Hill, Mason Plumlee for Christ School. We're joined now by Coach Steve Smith of Oak Hill. And Coach, point guard play for you over the years has been quite amazing. Rajon Rondo, Brendan Jennings, Ty Wasson. Tonight, MoMo Jones, once again, 34 points for you guys.
MoMo steps up in big games. He had a game in Hawaii where he scored 40 and only owned 21 shots. So I know people think that's too much for a point guard, but he had the plays tonight, made the plays, and we counted on him a lot, obviously, tonight, and he came up big for us.
And we talked about at the half, your team turning the ball over against Christ School. I mean, forcing turnovers on Christ School's end, and you guys were getting out and running. Talk about the importance of that for you guys today.
Yeah, that's big for us. We always count on 10, 12 buckets off, not 10, 12 buckets, but 10, 12 points on layups. And Tiny's a strong rebounder. Whether it's a turnover or not, he's going to look long first and then outlet to MoMo. So we got a few runouts on him. We got several turnovers in the first half, which helped us a lot. And then I thought we did the same things in the fourth quarter that we did early in the second quarter.
And talk about the rest of the season for you guys. Talk about where your team goes, trying to get that #1 ranking at the end of the year.
We got the top team in Tennessee Friday night, and then we got St. Pat's. We've got Montrose Christian. We play in the Nike ESPN tournament at the end of the year. It's got number 2, 3, 4 in it, so we got a long way to go. We've probably got 5 games against top 10 teams left. So plus we're everybody's big game. The other games you got to get up and play too, because just like Christ School, I mean, this is their season. They show up tonight and win the game, and you know it makes their year. So we've got to realize that's what it is when other teams play us.
Winning coach of Oak Hill, Steve Smith, thank you very much for your time, Coach.
Sure.
Pass, jump shot from the corner, no good. Greg Avery missed the shot. Josh Pick has something. Josh?
Well, there you see the officials, Mike Eads and Mike Wood, getting in on that action to separate the players. This week, Mike Wood last night did the Duke-Wake Forest game, Mike Eads did the North Carolina FSU game, and Ted Valentine did the LSU-Tennessee game. So you see he got a nice triumvirate of officials tonight. Back to you guys.
It's a busy week for these guys.
This is yeah, they have a chance to work here in Cullowhee, so. Very, very good officiating job, and they have called it tight tonight.
Now we're here with Lamont MoMo Jones, the starting point guard on Steve Smith's Oak Hill squad. Lamont, first question. Nickname MoMo. Tell me where that came from.
I actually don't know. I mean, my father gave it to me when I was about 2 years old, and it just stuck with me. I never got a chance to ask him what it meant or where did it come from. But it just stuck with me since I was little, and we kept it like that.
Now, coming from Harlem and going to Mouth of Wilson, Virginia, talk about the culture shock of that.
It's a major culture shock. I mean, you're going from one of the busiest places in the world to probably the most non-busiest place in the world. But I think it's good for me, and I think it's good for our players. We get to concentrate a lot, get our work done, and it's simply basketball, basketball, basketball. And I think, you know, that's what makes us one of the best teams in the country.
And talk about traveling the entire country, playing from night to night. Talk about that schedule on you guys.
It's a great schedule, but it's also also tiring schedule. You have to be mentally prepared and physically prepared to travel like that. And I think if you're not both of those, then you can get lost in the sauce.
Now, you committed to play for Seth Greenberg's Virginia Tech Hokies next year. What has he told you about your plans for next year?
Basically, just clear my mind. Don't worry about anything, and the ball will be in my hands next year, and do what I like to do.
All right, great, Momo. Thank you very much. Have a great game.
All right, thank you.
Catamounts clinging to a 5-point lead over Furman here in the second half. Just a little tidbit for you about Western Carolina. One guy they've got on their team that hope to help out next year, redshirt freshman Sam Smithson. Our viewers might remember him, a 2-time All-WNC player, an East to West pick, a North to South All-Star pick. He wasn't where he wanted to be coming out of high school. He decided to go the prep route. He went to Hargrave Military Academy up in Virginia. They were the national champs at 29-0. Larry Hunter looked at him, he liked him. He's put on 20 pounds of muscle this year. I asked him what his role would be on the team next year. He said, I want to be an energy guy. Jack?
He's a big energy guy, though, I'll tell you. He'll be an interesting addition to a very young ball club for Larry Hunter.
It's Oak Hill winner tonight, 75-58 over Christ School. We're here with Coach David Gaines. And Coach, last year was Brandon Jennings with 37. This year, Momo Jones, 34 with their point guards.
Yeah, they're great point guards. I mean, they get the best players from all over the country, and Jones was tough on us. And you know, I thought that we battled the second half. I think we made 2 of our first 16 shots, and most of them were close. And then we cut it a couple times, I think to 8, then had it at 7, and then Mason's 3 there with what 2.5 minutes to go, you know, would have cut the lead to 5. But they made all the free throws, you know, down the stretch. So just a great team. They deserve their high ranking.
You talk about Mason Plumlee. He had 24, but it seemed like the rest of the team struggled to get anything going for you guys tonight.
Yeah, uncharacteristic of how we played all year. We get it from, you know, 3, 4, 5 guys, and that was really the disappointing thing for me. Is I just think that we were out of sorts from the beginning. Makes no sense. We've been in big games so far this year. We're throwing the ball up there, but it almost was like not trying to make them. Let me just get it up around the rim and maybe it'll go in. And we can't play that way. Didn't run our offense. I thought again though, the effort the second half was great, and I would expect the effort to be there.
You guys have won back-to-back state championships. Is that another really realistic goal for you guys at the end of this year?
It's the only goal. I mean, it's the main goal. I mean, we're in a state association, you know, so that's the, as we say, end game for us is to defend our state championship.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Jack and Brian, back to you guys.
Thank you, Josh, and thanks to David Gaines for coming out after a tough loss and having a conversation with us. 75-58 was the final score.
Thanks, guys. Now, a key individual matchup in tonight's game is going to be Furman's Jordan Miller and Western Carolina's Haruna Mutombo. Miller, a sophomore guard from Memphis, Tennessee, leads the Paladins in scoring at 14 points a game, while Mutombo hails north of the border, Pickering, Ontario. He leads the Catamounts in scoring at 14.2 points per game. That's going to be a key matchup to watch out for in this evening's game. Back to you guys.
Josh Pick has the coach for Furman, Jeff Jackson. Go ahead.
First half, you held them to 30% shooting, but the turnovers that got you down by 9 at the half?
Well, we haven't done a good job of taking care of the ball, and we haven't done a good job on the offensive boards. Fortunately for us, we're doing a decent job in the zone, but for us to have an opportunity tonight, we're going to have to do a better job on the boards and a better job taking care of the ball.
And how do you be efficient in the offensive end in the second half?
Just got to take care of the ball. That's where the turnovers are hurting us.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Coach Jeff Jackson, back to you guys.
And Josh Pick is with us. Josh.
We talked to Coach Jeff Jackson of the Furman Paladins before the game about his recruiting for next year. He's really pumped about Colin Reddick, 6'9", 240, out of the Atlanta area. He said he's nationally ranked by ESPN, so he's really pleased about him coming in for them next year.
They have some good size, but when you get 6'9" and 240, you have even better size.
We're here with Coach Steve Smith. Coach, your team forced 8 turnovers in the first half. You got to be happy with your defense.
Yeah, real happy the way we played on the defensive end, and that was the key in our pregame talk and that, and trying to keep them off the boards from second shots because they're a very large basketball team. I thought we did a very good job both ends.
I guess one negative, Mason Plumlee's really been big on the offensive end for them. How do you stop him in the second half?
He's a good player. You don't just shut guys down, but if we can stop everybody else, then I think they'll have a tough time beating us.
All right, Coach, thanks very much.
Okay.
Josh Pick.
Here for Western Carolina, free throw shooting is going to be so crucial. Both teams already in the bonus. on the game. Western Carolina only 9 for 17, while UNC Asheville 16 for 21. So that's going to be key to watch down the stretch. Back to you, Jack.
16 for 21 is a very good free throw shooting 9. And, you know, for a good shooting ball club, Ryan, Western just doesn't do very well from the line.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Center for the pregame show. Western Carolina hosting Furman Paladins tonight. We're now joined by sophomore guard Jordan Miller. And Jordan, 3 sophomores, 2 freshmen. You guys have struggled a little bit at times this year. The first win the other night against a Division I opponent. How's that been playing this year?
We're just trying to stay focused and stay positive and keep working hard in practice.
We talked about that young lineup. For you, being one of the sophomores and the team leader in scoring, you having to step up as one of the team leaders this year?
Yeah, I was asked to do that earlier in the season, and as later in the season, it's becoming more comfortable, so I'm getting used to that.
Talk about tonight's matchup. Western Carolina, a tough team at home, 5-1. You guys 0-10 on the road this season. What's that matchup going to be like?
I'm just trying to come in from my last game with this new confidence from the win, and I think we're going to get it done tonight.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Jordan Miller. We'll be right back after this.
Josh Pick, what do you got?
Just a quick recruiting update on Oak Hill. Coach Steve Smith told us before the game, Glenn Bryant down to Marquette and UAB as 2 favorites, and junior Brian Allen has chosen to go to West Virginia next year. Back to you, Jack.
We are back at the Justice Center, and Josh Pick had a chance to speak with UNCA coach Eddie Biedenbach.
All right, I'm here by Coach Biedenbach. Coach, in the first half, your team really aggressive, got to the line 12 times. You got to like your team's aggressiveness.
Well, we've played hard, but we haven't played very smart. We've given up a lot of three-point shots and some transition baskets that we can't afford to with a team like this. Basically, it's guarding the 3, though, is the thing that's hurt us the most, and we've got to do that.
What sort of adjustments do you make on the dribble penetration and turning the ball over? What sort of adjustments do you have for your team at the half?
Well, basically, we have to get to the jump shooter. It's not the penetration and pitch. The penetration came off of their drives, shots, rebounds, and kickouts, or coming off the break. And we just got to get to the jump shooter.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Back to you, Jack.